I was walking to the taco stand, and the guy like pulls up on the curb, hits the car before in front of him. It like literally happened right out here, like right there.
What did he do? Did he leave?
I don't know. I think the car's still out there. He was like,
Hit a parked car.
yeah, he hit a parked car. He jumped the curb to park in between these cars and hit the car in front of him.
Wait.
It literally, when I was walking outside to get horchatas and tacos, he literally did that. I was like,
have you hit a parked car before?
I'm sure I have.
That was the first time I ever crashed into a parked car.
Oh, shit.
It's like, remember those jokes when you were a kid? Like, your mom was so dumb. She crashed into
the
parked cars. I'm like, damn, that's
You're like,
me.
damn, that's me.
When it happened to me, it was terrible.
No, it's crazy. I feel like it has happened to me. I'm not the best driver. I try.
But
driving out here is crazy.
It's not that
it's
crazy.
It's defensive driving.
Yes, it is. But not, I think you guys talked about it then too. Like, New York is worse.
Oh, New York is, yeah, bad.
But
okay.
This is my first podcast.
Oh my God. Congratulations.
And vlog. So thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone was with Miriah Lopez. And I'm just going to read it because it's a lot to memorize. That you're a professional tackle football running back.
Yes.
Part of LA Temptation Blackstorm. You're the owner of the Football Sisters.
Yes. Me and my co-owner.
Co-owner.
Yes, co-owner.
With your sister.
Yes. My older sister.
Your older sister.
And she's the QB.
The QB. What does that mean?
Quarterback.
Oh, okay. QB. There. I mean, I know football, but I mean, I don't know like the
she's QB1.
QB1. And then you're a sponsored athlete.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You have a nonprofit with the Football Sisters.
I do, yes.
And you're also a coach.
Yes. You did your homework,
right?
Girl.
Is this right?
Yes. That's
so great. Yeah, I want to talk about several things today. The first thing I want to go over is kind of like, where are you from? Where were you born?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you raised? And what did your parents do for a living?
I was born in Dallas, Texas. My mom, she did taxes for like all my life, literally. So, yeah. And she when I was younger, actually, she worked like 3 jobs. She worked at the club, but like,
what did she do at the club?
She was just like the what is it? Door girl. Like she like got the money
the
for
host at the front,
like basically the host.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, then she did taxes, and then she was our volleyball and basketball coach.
Oh, so your mom coached
My mom
too.
coached as well. Yep, and cheerleading coach.
Wow.
Yep.
Did you ever?
I was a cheerleader. Yeah, yeah. That was actually the first thing I got into.
Was cheerleading.
Was cheerleading pageants, and then my mom was also a judge at the pageants.
Oh,
yeah,
I was like,
my mom,
a judge?
My mom did a lot. Like, yeah, she was a judge at the pageants, and then coached cheerleading for us, and then we got into basketball, volleyball, and softball. She was our coach for all of it.
But she was also what I read was she was a single mom.
Yes.
Of 4 girls.
Yes. She did it all.
How would you say that did she influence like your?
Yeah,
I mean, she was a coach, right?
Yeah,
so.
she made me realize that there is no limit. Literally, like women can do it all. You can, have the life, have the career, have the kids. Like you could do it all on your own and still, give your kids the best life and the best love. So that was very like that went with me into my adulthood and I just think that she's like the most inspiring woman.
So what part of Texas did you grow up in?
Dallas, Texas.
In Dallas.
And Carrollton.
Carrollton? Is that like a small town in
it's
Dallas, Texas?
Small town, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what was that experience like growing up in Dallas, Texas, with a single mom, 4 sisters?
It was fun.
Are you like the middle?
I'm the middle, yeah. Me and my sister are both, me and Marissa are both the middle children. It was fun though, like, yeah, we were known as the family that, like, of athletes, because all of us played sports. So that was like our little like thing that we were just known for. Yeah.
Did your mom ever coach you in one of those sports?
When I was younger, yes, but not older.
Yeah.
Not when I was.
So what sport was she your coach in?
Softball, volleyball, cheerleading, and yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's amazing. So what does she think about now that you're a professional football player? Like, what does she say?
Man, she flies out to every game. Like, we literally fly her out. She's like our number one supporter. Like, she does our shirts for us. She's like, she's really involved. So I really appreciate that support because without her, like, I would not be able to do anything that I've done in my life. So yeah, that support system is very like crucial.
Does she still, in a way, kind of like coach you?
Absolutely. I go to her for any advice, any and all things. That's my best friend. So
Aw.
she's the most inspiring woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. So you've done it all. Like before football,
Yes.
like you've played all kinds of sports.
Yeah, it kind of made the transition into football easier because you get like the footwork in like basketball and like softball, you know, that goes into football as well. Like the hand-eye coordination that goes into football as well. So, you know, all those sports leading up to actually transitioning into being a football player definitely helped.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
It all goes together.
What about your other two sisters?
They play. Well, I have my middle sister. She plays football with me, but she was volleyball, basketball, and softball as well. My older sister and my younger sister, they were both dancers, so they were on the drill team, and I
played drill team.
You did? Oh,
I
yes.
played drill team. I was in
She was
drill
a
team.
dancer. I
It's
love
like,
it.
for those of you that don't know what drill team is, it's kind of like between military and cheerleading. And well, no, like dance and cheerleading, right?
Yes.
It's kind of like a marriage between those two.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah,
Okay.
they were the dancers of the family, and they also played sports, but
Yeah.
their passion was more for dance.
Okay. Nice. So we're going to talk about kind of like the good, the bad, and the ugly
Of the
like
sport?
of the sport of being a woman in sports in general, because I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, no matter how progressive that we've become, you know, in society, there's still stigmas, there's still things that you
Absolutely.
have to deal with. So I just
Yes.
want to let's talk about the good first.
Okay.
In that order. That's a reference to the movie The Good, the Bad, and the
Yeah,
Ugly. For
I
those who got
you.
it. My dad's loves Westerns, so I have
Oh,
like them
yes.
ingrained in my brain.
I love it. My dad too. Like
Really?
he loves the West. Yes, absolutely.
And you're from Texas.
yes, I'm particular. Yeah,
Makes
exactly.
sense.
So,
yeah,
the
let's talk about the
good,
good.
the good of it is I found my passion with it. I feel like football has definitely made me grow as a person, mentally, physically, emotionally. So the good is definitely growing as a person
growth.
through exactly the growth that it provides through like the challenges of the sport. The bad, I mean, you got to go through like being overlooked. I'm like the smallest on the team, so I was
Really? How tall are you?
5'3".
Are you?
Yes, I am the.
What?
Oh, so
I
did I
always
say
feel like
tallest?
You're the
Or
shortest.
Yeah, I was like, did I say
You might have said tallest. I don't
No,
know.
I said shortest, right? Oh, okay.
I think so.
No, I am the shortest on the team. So
Wow. I don't know why I
Literally.
never saw you short.
Good.
I think it's because your
Good.
personality is so big
Thank you.
that like you don't seem short to me.
Yeah, no,
But-
I definitely have always been the shortest on the team everywhere. But
Mm.
it does have a lot to do with your mentality. Like if you think big, you play big. So that's always been like your body can't
I
achieve
like
what
that.
your
If
mind.
you think big, you play big.
Yeah, and like your body can't achieve what your mind doesn't believe it can do. So that's always been in my head engraved. Like you can do anything. You got this. You know what I mean? Like, and a quote that I've like stuck by is like you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So that's like I know that there's a bigger purpose. Like I'm not just playing for the sport. I'm playing for all of the women's football.
Yeah.
Growing the sport, gaining awareness for the sport. And so that's been really important of my like progression through it.
Yeah. So you would say the bad was being overlooked.
Being
What
overlooked.
else would you say is kind of like something that injuries,
Yeah,
contact
injuries-
sports is dangerous sports.
It
and
is, yeah.
And we didn't know this when it first started, but scientists and researchers have been saying that it's more and more they've been researching how much of a dangerous sport it actually is.
It really is, but I mean, I would still play. Like
Yeah.
I've gotten injured before, but you overcome that. It's
What injuries have you had?
a bruised rib, concussion,
Concussions are no joke.
ankle, like I sprained my
Yeah.
ankle. My ankle was sprained so many times, and then a foot injury as well.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's like a big toe injury, but
Yeah.
it prevented me from like doing any type of like physical sport for 2 months, and this was
Oh,
like
wow.
recently.
When was this?
This was like literally 2 months ago. I'm just now getting back to playing like on it again.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's been like, oh my gosh, I need to get in shape. I need to get prepared for season for my game because I haven't been training. I haven't
You
been
haven't played for
practicing.
2 years.
Exactly. Well,
Well, you've
I've
played,
been
but you haven't
playing.
had
that
game.
tackle
Right.
game. Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited to see how this turns out because we have been training and preparing for 2.5 years.
So what does training and preparing consist of?
Eating right and going to the gym consistently. Also, a lot of people don't talk about like the positivity you give yourself, like the daily affirmations you tell yourself. That goes into like the training part of it because it's training your mind mentally.
Okay.
You know, to be able to like, withstand all that comes with this sport. It's a lot, so you have to, positive affirmations. You have to go out on the field and train constantly. You got to
So
keep
when
your
you go
body
out on the field
active.
and you're training, like what training, like what exercises or like
Drills, like, I mean, I could go through a lot of it, but first you warm up, then you got to go through the route tree, you got to go through drills like ladders and things like that, just to keep your body active and like it's all
you said
explosive.
your body active?
Body.
Oh, body. I was
Body
like, oh,
active.
Batty.
Body, body active. My bad.
I thought you were saying something else like,
Oh.
I'm a baddie. I'm like,
No,
oh, okay.
body. Wow, that was funny.
I like
Okay.
your baddie. Like, you got to keep your baddie part
Baddie
of your
active.
personality active. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's funny. No. Body.
So you said something a second ago. You said that, even though it's a dangerous sport, I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Oh, yeah.
What if you weren't doing football? Let's go into it like an imaginary, like what would you have followed? What is another passion that you think you would have delved into if it wasn't sports?
So it's crazy because I moved out here for the fitness industry. It wasn't necessarily to play football. It was for the fitness industry.
Oh.
So me and my sisters have always wanted to have our own business, our own clothing line. And, it's all about positivity, body positivity, and, women empowerment. So we wanted to, build a brand that kind of is all a part of that, like spreading love, spreading positivity, training all the time, just that brand of like love and encouragement. So we've been able to actually do that through football, but if we didn't have football, we would still be doing it through fitness and going to the gym and having our own women community, training women every single day.
Yeah.
So we're starting that actually at Speakeasy Fitness. We're having Fridays.
I think I saw a video about that.
Yes.
I was like,
So-
oh shoot, this is like a commercial because they posted it,
They
right?
posted it, yeah. So
Yeah,
we're actually gonna be training there. We're gonna be trying to do classes
The one
on
in North
Friday.
Hollywood?
In Van Nuys.
Van Nuys. Okay.
Yes,
I haven't been to that one.
It hasn't been confirmed like the exact dates yet,
Mm-hmm.
but my sister and I, my sister thought of it. She was like, we should totally do like their rooftop, workouts and stuff. We invite all the women of that gym. So that's been really exciting to like speak with them
So
about.
how did that come about? Like, did they approach you?
Yeah,
Or
they
did-
actually asked me if I could do a video kind of showcasing their saunas, their steam rooms, the jacuzzi and things like that. I was like, wow, how amazing. Because it's crazy. When I first moved out here, I used to work at USA Fitness, which is now Speakeasy. So I used to sell gym memberships there. And I'm like, wow, now like they're reaching out to me to promote, on my Instagram because I've built up like my Instagram page and things like that. So brands and companies come to me and directly and like pay for promotion and things like that. So it's been
Wow,
really
what an amazing opportunity.
it was a great opportunity. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to like speak more about that. And my sister, like, she has great ideas and I'm like, let's take it and run with it. You know
So
what I
you
mean?
guys are like in conversations,
Oh,
figuring
all
all
the
of that
time.
out.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
amazing. She's like literally the creative one out of us.
Yeah, she's like like you guys are business partners. technically,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So so before we go on to Football Sisters,
Yes.
what has been kind of like the ugly part of football or sports that you've had to deal with? Like, let's
So
not be candid either.
Okay.
Like, let's speak the truth here. Like, what have
Yes.
you really had to deal with? Being a woman playing a sport that sometimes was judged, right?
Yeah.
When the
Oh,
uniforms
absolutely.
were the
The
lingerie,
lingerie, yes.
before it became like a little
What
bit
it
more
is now.
official, right?
Exactly. So, I mean, a lot of people were kind of just like, why do you play in that? Or like, whatever. They're all thinking about like what we wear. But in my head, I'm like thinking about, no, it's leading by action. What am I doing on the field? I'm showing women what is possible. You know what I mean? Like, this sport is growing. So, we have to start somewhere. And, look to where, it started at lingerie and now it's leading into the X League, which is now we're wearing the crop top, like half uniforms with the spandex. So it's no longer like, you know, they're no longer trying to show like, oh, the boobs and the, you know, whatever. But we all have to start somewhere. And those girls in the lingerie league, they were beasts. They were animals. You know, it didn't take away from their athletic ability. Never did it take away. But and a lot of people were like, you know, you come for the uniforms, but you stay for the action. You stay for the women that put their heart and soul out there on the field every single play. Yeah. And I thought that was really like empowering too, because it's like, that's so true, because, you know, they inspired me to play this sport. You know what I mean? And now we're able to inspire the next generation and, you know, hopefully leave it better than what we were brought into it with.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you had to deal with any like harassment or anything like that, like while playing? Because how long have you been playing?
For 4 years.
For 4 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, okay. Technically, I played my rookie season. I didn't play. Okay. And then the second year, I was starting, and then so then the next year after that, 2020 and 2021, the season was canceled. So technically, I've been playing for 2 seasons, and this is on to my 3rd season this year.
Got it. Okay.
So, but for 4 years altogether.
Pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic kind of canceled it, but
COVID-19, that
exactly,
thing.
Exactly. So
yes. So was there any time where you were like being harassed or like anything that you had to deal with, like to kind of push through?
I mean, it was just like DMs that were just a little weird, but I mean, you just look at it and like, okay, that's you can choose not to respond back and not to you know, give light to that. So exactly. I'm just all about positivity. I'm like, no negative, no weird, you know, harassment stuff. I'm just going to choose to ignore it.
So let's talk about that, because there's a quote from you.
Yes.
A motto that you go by. So I want to read it here for everyone. And then I want you to walk me through, like, how did you come up with it? Like, you know, what's behind this? Pursue through passion, commit with heart, and lead by action.
Yes.
So, like, how did you come up with that saying? You know, like, what goes, because that's like a 3-part quote. What goes into each of those parts? And can you just kind of like, you know, clarify a little bit more?
Actually, my sister and I, when we were talking, like having our weekly business meetings, talking about branding and things like that, we came up with that together. And we were like, what do we stand for? What are we trying to tell the people? What are we trying to, you know, stand for, basically? So, you know, we came up with that together. All of the Football Sisters is our collaboration, our brains working like as one. So yeah, the lead by action is literally you have to go out there and show people how it's done, or like okay, so we're coaches for the 4th grade flag football. I'm a 4th grade flag football coach. So it's like I have to actually show them how it's done. Like, how do you run this route? How do you know what I mean, catch the ball correctly? When you lead by action. You have to embody that with all your actions that you do. And then, you know, pursue through passion. That's just giving it your all, like whatever you're passionate about, you know, go in that direction. Go in that direction that like sets your soul, sets your heart on fire. So that's, you know, that part of that question. And then commit with heart, and all that you do is basically like, if you love something, don't give up on it. Always go with your heart. Lead with your heart, and, you know, everything is going to work out. You know, be positive and know that your life is going to work out the way it's supposed to, because you have good intentions. You lead with your heart and love and positivity.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing. I love that. When I heard that, I was like, that's really great.
Thank you.
I think, you know, those type of things, I feel like there's so many sayings out there, like follow your passion, you know, that as just like one off segment. And it's like, oh, you need to be committed. And so it's like, when you put all those 3 things together, it's like, yes, follow your passion, but are you committing to your passion, and are you taking action to make that passion become a reality? Exactly. And so I feel like that's like a quote that's a perfect combination. So like,
you gotta have it all.
You have to have all 3 of those together. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So let's move and talk a little bit about I want to talk about a couple things.
Okay.
So because the Football Sisters is, you know, a brand that you and your sister started.
Yes.
Which falls under something that's very entrepreneurial. You know, how does entrepreneurial kind of lead into sports? You know, how do those 2 things coincide?
Yes.
And, you know, like what skills, because you said sports has been the thing to like kind of, lead you into everything else in life and teach you everything else in life. So
Yes.
how has sports taught you to be entrepreneurial, and how have you reaped those benefits? And also, how has that led into the nonprofit part
Yes.
of your business of wanting to give back?
Exactly. So the entrepreneurial part about being an athlete is like, there's a quote. They say, good players capitalize on the field, great players capitalize off the field. And it's literally like how you spread awareness about what you're doing in the community. That's how you, kind of make your mark and make your legacy, known, and like how you're, really just giving back and like all of that. And
So what do you want to be known for?
I want to be known for teaching young girls how to play football. I want to be known building their confidence, building, everything that there's to know about, growing this sport and growing your brand outside of the sport as well, because there are opportunities to get paid. There are opportunities to get your name out there, and companies will come to you, but you gotta, do it with good intentions. You gotta be doing it with intentions that you want to help the whole of the community. So if you want to build your brand, build your brand, but build the sport as well. Build up people, build up the next generation as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It all goes hand in hand with each other.
So like when you capitalize on the field, you're talking about scoring points. You're scoring points,
Exactly.
You're winning games.
Helping the team.
You're helping the team. Capitalizing off the field
Yeah.
is also monetary?
It's monetary. It's also like making an impact in the community. It's both. You know what I mean? So brands do come to you and want you to promote their brands and things like that through social media. And that's been a huge tool for me, especially because I've been able to kind of utilize social media to spread awareness about women's football, on top of like brands wanting to promote me and use me as one of their faces or like things like that. So it's for me, it's just getting the name out there, getting the brand out there, getting women's football out there.
So when you were playing sports, when did social media come into the picture? When did that light bulb click and like, you know what, this is the route that I need to take to gain awareness and to use this as leverage?
So I have always been into social media.
Okay.
Like since I was in high school.
Okay.
I've literally documented my entire life. And with my sister, we use social media to document our journey, so that we can go back and be like, dang, this is where we started, but look how far we've come. And, it's an amazing tool because like you can see, from the start, like this journey where we were, you know what I mean? And how much it's grown, how much the sport has grown, how much we've grown as people.
Yeah.
So I really just use social media as like documentation of the entire journey.
Just like you were taking BTS.
Yeah, BTS and things like that.
Shooting.
This, like 2 years from now, I'm going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And look where her YouTube is now. You know what I mean? Like, so it's all goes, just
So
documenting.
what advice do you have for athletes, who are killing it on the field, or they're starting, in the sport, and they're like, oh, I want to capitalize off the field, and maybe build my social media. Like, what advice do you have for them on how to even just get started? Like, besides just documenting, like what advice? One word advice.
Quality photos, videos. Definitely get someone out there to, use a better camera, quality camera, because like people want to see the behind the scenes of what you do. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I've been able to do is like really just do the behind the scenes, but make it quality and make it fun and make it like, just what people want to see.
Yeah.
They want to see like football players, like women, you know what I mean?
Whatever
like,
sport it is that you are.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever
put
sport
that out
it
there
is.
and make sure it looks good. It's quality.
And TikTok is like fun too. Like make it fun, like I think now that social media has become more of a thing, like more eyes are on you and more like people want to see like the just the journey.
Yeah.
It's just the journey.
They want more authentic content.
Exactly.
Versus like, trying
and knowing that like it's okay to not start somewhere like start at the top, but like working towards it, working hard every single day, because social media is another job. It really is, but it's fulfilling as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun.
So what do you have going on right now? I know you have some events coming up.
Yes.
Right? Tell us about that.
Football, more football.
Before we go into our fun topic.
Yes.
Oh, actually, I do want to touch on, tell me what you have going on. But I think before we move on to that, I have on here, like, what, you've already talked about it a lot, being a role model for women.
Yes.
You know, being a role model for other Latinos or Latinas who want to get into the sports. Like how
there's a lot of they come from Mexico.
Really?
That come to this sport, and they're killing it. And I'm so amazed at them. Like, they're able to, come into a foreign country to them and like really just, give it their all.
Do they live there and they come here to compete?
No, they
move here.
They move here and they compete, and they get their flights paid for. So yeah, it's a journey, but they have to be on the starting roster. So they do have to put in a lot of work. So it is really cool to see though. Like I want to be able to like soon help, in that transition for them and learn more Spanish, because I want to be able to help, but I want to learn that it's a language barrier right now.
Yeah. Para hablar en español conmigo?
Poquito.
So we can do our next podcast in Spanish?
Oh my gosh.
¿Quieres tratarlo?
Sí.
Okay, mira, el siguiente pregunta es... No,
oh, I'm like, okay, let me hear it. What's the question?
Oh, you understood it?
Yes,
at least.
I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the record, I also didn't... I told you, I didn't speak Spanish growing up either, and I think that's like... My dad was also born here. Your mom was born here.
Yes.
So sometimes it just kind of skips generations.
It does. And it sucks because, like, people look at us and they're like, oh, you're not a real Mexican. I was like, what does that even mean?
I'm like, well, I like salsa.
I like salsa. I like bachata.
Or chata.
Or chata, exactly. Or chata.
Which she bought before we started this.
I'm like, should I grab it?
I know, it's sitting over there. You can take a sip. It's fine.
Please.
Are you thirsty?
I'm thirsty.
I don't even know where I put mine.
You want some of mine?
A little bit, yeah. COVID. I'm just kidding. So yeah, tell me what you have going on right now.
Yes, so I have a game. I fly out on Saturday. I'm so nervous. I'm so excited, but I fly out.
So what date is the game?
June 18th. I'm excited about
this
that.
This Sunday?
This Saturday.
Wait, this Saturday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. June 18th. And we play Austin in Austin, Texas.
And you're celebrating your birthday?
Yes, I'm celebrating my birthday.
Which I'm a little sad.
I know, I want you to go.
I saw on Instagram that you're having your birthday party. I was like, oh, cool, I can go. You're like, yeah, fly to Texas. I'm like, damn it.
I'm like, come with me to Texas, girl.
I'm like, I can't.
You'd have the time of your life.
Oh, I thought I would.
Little mansion party
I would.
action.
I have so
We've
much
never partied together.
No, and we've been trying to do it since
it's
like
been
we
a
first
year,
met.
girl.
Over a year. Because I met you in April.
Yes. Yeah.
April 2021.
No, yeah, our conversations last like forever.
Yeah. So,
every single time.
So now that we know what you have going on, and you just brought up a conversation.
Oh, yes.
That means we're transitioning.
So yeah, I got that going on. And then, next home game is going to be August 13th. I want the whole entire city out
here
there.
in California?
Yeah, in California.
Okay,
it's in Irvine.
It's in Irvine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will promote the heck out of that.
Please do.
Like,
please
if there's
help
one
me.
thing that I have a habit of is I love promoting people and brands that I believe in.
Oh my gosh.
And I believe in you.
Thank you. I believe in you too, girl. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. Okay, so home game August.
Yes, 13th.
Yes. Here in Irvine. Oh my God, I can't wait to see you kick
I'm
ass.
excited.
One thing I was going to say that I didn't say earlier is when you talked about like the lingerie and like people like going for one thing but staying for the game.
Right.
Is like I grew up watching football. Okay. So there's a part of the self-interest of me that wanted to interview today because I love football.
Ooh.
But like not in like the same way that fanatics love football, right? Mm-hmm. So like I grew up playing a lot of sports too, and my dad always took us to football games. But my dad never was like interested or cared who won. He just was always like, I just want to see a good game.
Right.
So I adopted that mentality.
I love that.
Like I'm not attached to any team, but of course, if it's an LA team, then they're my team.
Dallas Cowboys all the way, because I'm from Dallas, so I represent always.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. You have to represent where you're from. But for me, as long as it's a good game, that's what I'm happy with.
Right, yeah.
And I actually was water girl during high school
for
our football
team.
team.
Yes, you told me that. That's so dope.
My dad took us to football games, like ever since I was a little kid.
Yes.
And then I get to high school and he's like, you can't go. I'm like, what do you mean? I went to a private all-girls high school that
Oh
didn't
my
have a football team.
gosh.
Then junior year, I transferred to like my local public high school, and they're like, we have a football team. I'm like, oh my God, I love football. My dad talks to me all the
Right.
time. Dad, I'm going to go to the game this Friday. He's like, no, you're not. And I was like, what? Why? And he goes,
Those boys.
because I don't want you getting pregnant under the bleachers. I'm like,
I remember this
I was like,
conversation. I'm like,
pregnant
what?
under the bleachers? I want to go watch a football game. He's
Right.
like, yeah. And then you end up pregnant under the bleachers. I'm like, really, Dad? Like,
Dang.
so he refused to let me go.
Yeah.
And I used to run track, and I was running track, and I told the coach, he's like, oh, you're going to be at the game this Friday? I'm like, no, my dad won't let me. So typical strict Mexican father.
Yeah.
And he's
Just
like,
looking out.
well, if you work as water girl, you get credit on your, college applications as like an activity that you did.
That's
and
dope.
then you have like adult supervision. You can tell your dad, and he goes, and I'll vouch for you, and you can be the water
Wow.
girl. And I was like, what? I'll be on the sidelines?
Right.
Like,
No,
up
up close
like
and
up
personal.
close in person watching instead of like out on the stands.
No, that's even better, honestly.
It was so amazing. It was so amazing. And I went home and told my dad, like, bye, Dad, I'm going to the football. He's like, I told you can't go. I'm like, well, I'm the water girl. And so, like, they're thirsty and I have to
They're
like, get them
thirsty.
water.
Gotta help the team, coach.
Gotta help the team out. But it was so much fun. I had so much appreciation for the
Right.
game.
Yes.
But
it's so much fun.
But it's like, it's just so funny.
It's
I
no
just kind of,
different. Like literally, it's no different from watching the guys to watching the girls. Like it's the same intense,
okay,
fast.
I want to ask you, is there like one game that like broke your heart?
What do you mean?
Like, there's one game for me in high school.
Uh-huh.
The last game of the season. Not the last. It wasn't the last game of the season, but it was like one of our rivals.
Mm-hmm.
And we were winning by 3 points. And we hadn't beat this high school in 40 years.
Oh my gosh.
And we were graduating seniors. And we're like, oh my God.
That game was everything.
40 years we had not beat them. The last minute of the game, or less than a minute, it was like 45 seconds. Our coach calls a throw play, like where he's throw the ball.
Right.
Interception, touchdown.
Stop.
We lose.
Okay.
In the last 45 seconds, broke
Dang.
my heart. Till this day, every football player who I'm friends with on the team, they don't even want to talk about it.
Oh
So have
my
you ever had a
goodness.
game like
Absolutely.
that, like broke
I've
your heart?
played in a game like
Tell
that.
me about it.
Okay, so this game, it was actually against Austin.
Okay.
It was the first time we played them that season. They were the undefeated team, blah, 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 whatever. So we go in there.
Dallas versus Austin.
It was Austin versus LA.
Okay.
Well, it was the game I played in.
Okay.
Yeah, it was LFL. So we go in there, and off bat, like 5 of our players go down in injury. It was like labeled one of the most brutal games in LFL history. Crazy, right? So we
5 players?
5 players, 5 of our starters go down in injury. Boom, 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 boom. It's insane. And we're like literally feeling like it's all out war. Like, we're playing for the woman next to us. Like we got, one's down, next one comes in. We're all working as a team, and they're supposed to be the undefeated team, right? So we're literally tied with them the entire game. And except
What was the score?
It was like, I want to say 19-19 or something like that.
That's a good game.
It's a
I
good
just got
game.
goosebumps.
Man, it was an intense game. It was crazy. And I just watched this game like literally because we were watching film. We just watched this game a couple days ago. So it's still fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
Literally 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, we're still tied with the undefeated team.
Yeah.
And they come in, and the tight end scores a touchdown, then the running back scores the extra point. And it's like, in 30 seconds, we were just, but good
Yeah.
news is we played them in LA for the playoffs and beat them.
Oh, nice.
Beat them like 48 to like 20 something.
Yeah.
It was a great game.
Yeah.
So that was that. We got our revenge back in our own home.
Yeah. But yeah,
So.
it's always heartreaking.
It's always heartbreaking,
Especially
but
when
it's
it's
how
like-
you overcome that.
It's how you,
'cause-
it's how you overcome that.
it.
But it's like just the memory of it. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
if you just would have called
It's
a
like,
different play,
dang it.
then that wouldn't have happened.
I know.
But it's so easy to judge a coach when they're calling
Yeah.
plays when you're not in their position, and they're.
Do you
trying
think
to,
he should have ran it?
Yes,
Absolutely.
We had 45 seconds left.
So, oh yeah, I would have ran it. What?
Why would you throw the ball?
Oh yeah,
Why
you
would
could have ran
even-
the clock down.
Yes.
What the-
Like that
What
like
was he
a
thinking?
look,
Oh, no.
I never played football, and I was like, why did I heard the play being called, and I was like, why?
He had a lot of faith in his quarterback or his receivers.
But I don't know, pues.
Pues, I don't know.
Okay,
That
so
sucks.
on that note of heartbreaks from football games,
Right.
let's talk about heartbreaks from boys.
Fuck
Let's
up.
not talk
No,
about
I'm just kidding. I'm like, fuck up. No, I'm just
Are you single?
I am single.
Okay.
Loving
So-
it.
So are you dating in LA?
No, I am so focused on what I'm
Okay.
doing in my career, in my life. Like, I don't even have time for all the extra BS.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Not in
it's,
any dating apps.
no, girl. No, I don't use those.
We talked about
Someone told
we
me-
talked about dating so
Someone
much.
told me they saw me on Tinder. I'm like, that is not me. That is
Someone's
not
using
me.
your picture.
I don't know. If you see me on Tinder, it's not me because I don't
mean,
use that app.
I don't have my preferences to women, so I don't think I would see.
No, I'm saying to anybody watching this,
Yeah.
if you see me on
It's
Tinder,
not Mariah.
it's not me because I don't
If you match
have
with
that.
Mariah on Tinder, it is false.
False. Sorry. I didn't swipe right
Sorry
because
for
I
the-
don't have it.
So
But
that's
yeah,
not.
I'm just focused. I'm
That's
I'm
focused.
loving life. I'm focused, and all I care about is football. I'm married to the game,
Yeah.
so that's what it is.
I feel like when we had those conversations back there, you were in a little bit of a different place.
Oh yeah.
Both of us were very fresh out of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about dating in a way where it's like, what do we look like? Because we had so many hours of conversation
gosh,
about
it was
this, and I just
crazy.
want to bring some of that value
Mm-hmm.
that we had amongst ourselves to them,
Right,
to the
right.
audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talked a lot about being with the right person,
Right.
right? Or being with the person whose values aligned with ours.
Ooh.
Do you want to
That's-
you want to talk about like what you learned? You don't have to talk about like details or
yeah,
anything,
yeah.
but like
I will
what
not.
you learned.
Well, not.
Details will not be said.
They will not.
Like what you learned in the last two relationships. About choosing the right person
Mhm.
and like how it can hold you back or like push you forward.
Right. So definitely, if that person is not what you said aligns with your future, like what they're doing in their career, if it doesn't align with what you're doing in yours, if they don't have anything going on for them in their life, like I don't know, it's just ambition is what I love, and like you able to teach me something that I could teach you, and
Yeah.
we bounce ideas off. That's what I love, and if I'm not getting that, then I will be so checked out.
So what would you say would be like your dream guy? If you could describe him, like what would that be for you?
Oh my goodness!
Because they
someone
always
that's funny.
they always say, that's funny.
Yeah, someone that's funny
That's
makes
like
me
the stereotypical
laugh.
answer for women.
I know,
right?
but that's literally, you have to be your best friend. Like, you have to be best friends with someone. And I feel like if you can't make me laugh, I'm easy to make laugh. Like, I laugh at anything. So if you can't make me laugh,
then
I
you're
just
really
feel like
bad.
you're really just like, there's no personality. There's nothing like there in your mind.
Yeah.
There's no substance.
Yeah,
So definitely a funny man.
a funny man. Does he have to be a comedian?
No, don't be like, I would.
Okay, but tell me in detail.
Do you want to know physical, or you want to know like
just
mental?
like everything? Like what would be like your dream guy? Like what would
Oh
Miriah
my
Lopez's
gosh,
dream
this
guy?
is like a loaded
like if
question.
you meet this guy, and he hits all these marks, like you would say yes to the ring.
I just feel like someone is not gonna like. No one's perfect. You know what I mean?
No one's gonna
Everyone-
be perfect.
Yeah,
of
so
course.
you're gonna have to like kind of not deal with, but like how are y'all gonna come together and overcome
But what does that
battles?
look like for you?
So you have to be funny. You have to literally be smart. Like, I think business mentality,
Like
smart,
business
savvy. I tend to like get along with people who are business minded. So that's important. Like entrepreneurship
Entrepreneurial.
and things like that.
Yeah.
That's important. Also, if you have a close like family relation, like family oriented. That's so important because my family is like my entire life. So if you aren't like that with your family, like I don't know if they would know how to be like that with mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm all about family oriented, or what is it? family relationships.
Yeah,
and
family
things like that.
relationships.
Yes.
I know. I see that about you. Like, post a lot about your
Oh,
family
yeah.
and your sister.
We are a football family. We
Yeah.
are all in each other's business, all in each other's mess. Like, we're literally a Mexican family. Like that. You know how Mexican families are always in the business.
Yeah, of course.
So if you can't handle that, then you gotta go. Like, it is what it is.
What would you say has like been your worst date?
Ooh, yes,
We
I've
all
had a
have
worse
those.
date before. They only talked about themselves. And you know what? I think it was more so
Like,
because
they didn't ask you any questions like about
I feel like they already knew who I was because social media, and so
They
were
assumed
trying
they knew who you were.
Exactly. So they were trying to talk a big game to me, and it's like you
just want to connect
now
with someone.
now you sound just like full of yourself. Now you sound, you know what I mean? And it might have been like, oh, she's doing all this, I have to show her what all I'm doing. But it's like, no, you're coming off way too strong, way too like pretentious.
Just be human.
Just
like
be normal.
Yeah.
Like, have a normal conversation. Like, I'm not all about the like flashy this, flashy that. Like, have a normal conversation, have something of substance to bring to me.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking all day.
That was your worst date? That doesn't sound that bad.
Talking about themselves the entire time?
Yeah. My worst date is I got a concussion.
Ooh, what happened? Are you okay? Oh
I'm
my
fine.
gosh.
It was like 4 or 5 years ago.
What happened?
We went hiking, and I'm a little adventurous.
Yes.
And an adrenaline junkie.
Yes.
So I decide in the middle of our hike to start rock climbing too.
Okay.
Which didn't amount to anything. It was just fun.
Mm-hmm.
But towards the end of the hike, if you go to like Malibu Creek, there's like this waterfall. If you've ever been hiking there, there's like this waterfall and it's like a little cave. For those of you who are familiar with it. And like, I was like, there's a rope tied and you can like walk across the wall and go into the little waterfall cave.
I would totally do that.
I've done it like 20 times.
I would totally do
I've
that.
done it so many times. And so this one time, it was like a date hike. I actually didn't know it was a date, but it was.
Oh.
And then I slipped and I like swung on the rope like Tarzan, like, ah! And then I hit the back of my head on like a shed rock. And then I fell 6 feet down into
6 feet?
Yeah, down into the water puddle. And I didn't realize I had a concussion. So I had to go to the hospital and we got 2 staples in my head. And then we went to dinner after. So that's probably,
he like stuck by your side.
He really wanted to date me after that. He was like, wow, you're in such a great mood with such a terrible thing happening. Can I see you again? I'm like, no.
No, it's embarrassing. No, just kidding.
No, I didn't like him like that.
Oh yeah,
which sucked. But
why
like,
did you go on to? Oh, you didn't know it was.
I didn't realize. Like, it's just I missed the signals.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not that great at signals.
I'm so busy, so I'm like,
do you miss the signals too?
I do miss this. I'm very friendly sometimes, so I don't mean to be like friendly in that way. They take it the wrong way because I'm just a nice person. I feel like
I have the same thing.
Me and you,
like,
I'm
like
our
super
personalities
nice,
are similar.
I'm like, yeah, no, this is not a thing. Like, I'm just nice and
but
I'm friendly.
You did say that you're very blunt and honest.
Yeah.
And I like that because remember when I was in a situation, I was like, I felt like I was blunt and honest, but like it was taken like it was not.
What happened? What do you mean?
Remember that situation? I don't want to like talk about the situation.
Okay, so
no, because you were like, if you don't like this person, cut it off.
Yes, 100%. And I do that. I am.
But I was like, dang, I was like stringing someone along. Yeah. So I was like, that's not growth.
I mean, I've learned to be that way.
Right.
I can't say like I've always been that way. Like, I grew up where. I don't know. Did you grow up with your father being strict about you dating? Like,
I didn't grow up with my dad.
Wait,
I grew up with
my
mom.
With your mom.
Yeah.
But
my mom was super strict. I couldn't date till I was like 16. And they had to ask her. And
girl, I couldn't date till I was 19.
Oh, shit.
I had to move out of the house to even have a guy friend.
Oh, that's very strict.
Yeah.
My
16?
mom
loved 16.
My mom would be pulling up and like anywhere we're at, like just playing I Spy. Like she was very like involved.
Really?
Oh yeah, she was very involved. Honestly, I was scared of her, not wanting to get on her bad side when I was in high school, because she brought out the
coach.
The coach. The evil coach. I'm like, I don't want to get on her bad side. I'm good. I just want to make you proud, mama. But yeah, I had a boyfriend in high school for 4 years after that.
Really?
Yeah, like the guy that asked
when
my
you were
mom.
16?
Yeah, when I was 16. We dated for 4 years.
Yeah.
That was my longest relationship in
life.
Yeah.
I just had my longest relationship, which was 2 years. Because I'm so blunt. Like, the minute that I feel something's not working out, I shut it down.
That's really good.
The problem
you
is
don't let it linger.
No, I don't let it linger.
That's
but the
good.
problem is if you don't notice the signs. You know, like the guy I went on a hike with, like, I didn't realize he liked me like that.
Right.
And then when I had the concussion, I was like, oh, I think this guy likes me.
Oh, shit. So
Like,
it was
damn,
like,
was this a date?
Was this a
It was a
date?
date.
It was a date.
Yeah.
And because y'all went to dinner afterwards, too.
Yeah.
So it was like an all-day
totally
thing.
And I was like, and I told him, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't feel that way about you. And he was just like, are you sure? And I was like, yes.
Wait, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What keeps you in a relationship?
Me?
Yes.
Well,
Like in your 2-year relationship?
yeah. Because
What kept you there?
It was almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Because I could see a life with him.
Oh.
And our values aligned.
Wow.
He was, for me, I was raised traditional, right? Like I was raised by my grandmother and my father. I was raised by a single father instead of a single mother.
Yeah,
And so it was like the reverse. And so for me, you know, they always taught me to be old fashioned. Like I had a lot of old fashioned values.
Right.
Like, the guy opens the door, he pays,
Absolutely.
he takes care of you. But then that was my grandmother teaching me, you know, don't give the milk out for free.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
blah, 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 that
No,
little
I
saying.
feel it. My grandma does that.
What is it? It's don't give out the milk for free because then they won't want to buy the cow. I think something like that.
Yes.
So, but then my dad taught me a balance of that. So my dad had this best friend who's also has the same name, and he used to cheat on his wife all the time. And he used to always use my dad as a cover. So he would tell his wife, no, I'm with, you know, Tony, my father. And then she would call my dad, and he'd have to lie. And he'd tell him, like, dude, don't do that. Like, don't he's like, she's a good woman. Like, she's going to leave your ass one day. Yeah. He's like, nah, she's not going anywhere, blah, 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 blah. Just mistreating her, right? Like, I think I was like 12 when this happened. And then one day his friend got home. His 2 daughters were gone. She was gone, and all their belongings, and just a note with the divorce papers. And what my dad said was, he's like, you see what she did? The only reason she could do it is because she had a good job. She made good money, and she put herself in a position that she would never have to take mistreatment.
Wow.
He's like, so always make sure, yes, be traditional. Yes, like those things are fine for a man to take care of you, but always put yourself in a position to get out of it if you need to. You know, because if he wants to start hitting you or cheat on you. And so for me, I like that what kept me with my ex was the balance between him being old fashioned and like taking care of me. Yeah. But being secure enough and confident enough to let me be ambitious and entrepreneurial where he wasn't threatened by my independence.
Love that.
He wasn't threatened by that. So it's like, wait a minute. You'll pay for my dinner or like take care of, just not just pay for my dinner. Like he never allowed me to pay for anything even when I tried.
Right. But you know you had it.
But I know I had it.
Yeah.
But he also supported me in my endeavors and still supports me as, you know, as a mutual friend. And so
it shows effort. That's huge to me.
But
effort
I think
is
that
everything.
Combination of men is like what we don't have a lot of. Right. Because it's like either they're traditional, like machismo. Yeah. Or they're like too progressive where they want to like split the rent with you or like buy. I'm like, I get a lot of it's so controversial, but I grew up thinking a certain way and I just feel like a man should be able to provide but should also allow me to be
me. And also that he wasn't jealous.
No, he wasn't.
I've come across a jealous person of everything that I've been able to do in a male dominated, and they were doing the same thing, and it was kind of like a
double standard.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you're doing, you know what I mean? How are you doing? You know, whatever. It was, I could feel like the sense of like, how are you getting all this? Or how are you, whatever. There's a little jealousy, like.
Yeah.
dude, you're a guy. I'm a female. Like, you should be happy. You should be supportive. Like, I don't know.
Jealousy for me is the one non-negotiable.
Yeah.
If there's any like hint that you're jealous or possessive,
That's a red
the
flag.
first boyfriend I had, I was with him for a week. We dated for 6 months. I was with him for a week. He accused me of cheating on him the first week we were together. I broke up with him.
You're like, oh no. Oh,
I was like,
no, I'm not doing this.
And he was like, no, I'm sorry. I was like, nope. And you know what? Maybe I could have given him a chance, but for me, that was enough.
Wow.
That was enough for me to cut him off.
Wow. You didn't give him another chance to be like, look, if this happened moving forward, if this happens again.
Once was enough because we dated for 6 months.
Right.
We dated for 6 months. You asked me to be your girlfriend. We were together for a week. And a week into the relationship,
he should already know what kind of woman you are. And that's kind of like a slap in your face. Like, what do you take me for?
No, but it has nothing. Jealousy has nothing to do with you.
Right. Absolutely.
Ever. It has to do with their insecurities. So the fact that after 6 months of dating, you had the audacity to accuse me of cheating on you a week into our relationship, red flag, peace out. I broke up with him that night, and I was like, no, I'm sorry. There's no chance.
Cold-hearted.
Not cold-hearted, but you're like, boundary.
Yeah, that's true. That's
not
true.
wasting 5 years of my life trying to get rid of someone who doesn't want to let me go. Like, no. Time is way too precious.
Toxic energy has never been like kind of maybe fun to you, like maybe a little bad boy, like
I want to say,
because that's been fun for me one time. I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll deal with it once.
Has it been? I think maybe like when I was younger.
Yeah.
And no como un poco tonta. Like,
yeah.
You know,
like, you gotta be a little crazy. You know?
I was like not crazy. Tonta's like dumb. Like I was very naive and gullible. In my I didn't date until I was 19.
Yeah.
The first date I ever went on when I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't even have guy friends up to that point. So like just not even being able to like interact with them. It's like, how do you even deal with this species? Like,
right. Because they took a big game.
Even as a friend, I didn't know how to deal with men, you know?
Yeah.
And so maybe in the beginning.
Look at you now.
I know, right?
Cutting people off.
I have so many friends now, guys and girls.
It.
But it's just like the toxicity. I think you know what has also to do with it is that I went into therapy very early.
Oh, wow.
I started seeing a therapist when I was 19, 20, around that time.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to say the toxic relationships I attracted like in my teens, even though I didn't date. Like I was attracted towards the toxic guys, but I never dated them, which was good for me.
That's good, yeah.
But when I was 19, I started to go into therapy, and my psychologist probably saved me from like so much toxic shit. Yeah.
What did she say?
So one thing that I think is really important is she told me, it's going to sound kind of funny, but she told me, you know, when you see that guy across the room and your heart just starts beating and you just like start perspiring and you're just like, oh my God, like that's the one. And you feel like you just immediately fall in love. And I was like, yes.
Stay away from that.
And she goes like, turn around and run. And I was like, what? What do you mean?
Oh, that's crazy.
And she's like, your unconscious mind is attracted to the worst parts of both your parents in your life.
That's crazy.
So we're typically attracted, and like some people have heard this, some people haven't, but we're typically attracted to whether it's male or female, no matter what your sexual orientation is, you're typically attracted to someone who resembles your parents.
That is not true.
Huh?
I was like, that is not true.
Not in a physical way.
Oh, gotcha.
Not in a physical way, in a behavioral way. And so you're attracted, like they have the worst parts of your parents, typically, a combination. And so what typically happens is like when you meet someone, you're like, oh my God, I met this guy and I feel like we've known each other our entire lives. Like I feel so connected to him. I feel alive. It's because you have known them your entire life. They're a picture or a version of your parents.
Oh, shoot.
You've literally have known that type of person your entire life.
Wow.
And she goes, at the time, like, you have your parents' good side, right? And so, like, there's positive things about your parents.
Yeah.
So they also typically have those positive attributes as well. But they're just like, they're hidden because in nature, this is what I learned from her, nature feels that we can only heal from our past wounds from our parents by linking us with someone exactly like them. So nature shoots endorphins into our brain.
Crazy.
Nature
That's
shoots
cool.
endorphins into our brain to literally blind us from seeing all of those things.
Oh my goodness, the science behind
I know.
dating.
So there's two things. Like that was my my psychologist, Georgie Rodiger. She passed away a few years ago. She was my psychologist for like 10 years, and
wow.
became like my godmother.
Yeah.
And I learned the scientific aspect of what she taught me then, just a few years ago, from this author, Harville Hendricks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's
So,
amazing.
No, it's really like if you look at your patterns and you start to kind of analyze, like, who have I dated? Like, what do they have in common with people that, you know, with the people who raised me?
Right.
It doesn't even have to be your mother and father.
Right, right.
You know, it could be the people who raised you in your community.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And one reason jealousy is like an absolute no for me, like I stand by that, is because my dad, when my mother passed, had a super jealous girlfriend. And the toxic like trauma that we went through
from her,
from seeing the dynamic of that toxic jealousy, it was like,
was she jealous of y'all too?
No, not us. But
because I've heard that before, like the girlfriends will be jealous of the kids,
no,
like
she
them
was so amazing
getting
to us.
more
She
attention.
was so good to us.
Yeah.
But she had issues, insecurity issues, you know. Dang. But going through therapy is how I was able to cut off repeating patterns.
Ooh. Dang,
yeah.
That's really good. That's really good. I've never had therapy before.
No? Have you ever considered it?
I've never, because I don't know, in my where I'm from, that's not a thing. Like,
yeah.
that's like I don't know.
I got a lot of judgment for it.
I don't judge you.
No, from my family.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were like, why are you seeing a therapist? It doesn't make any sense. What are you paying them for?
Right.
You just talk to me, I'll listen.
Right. That's literally like my group message with my family. Like, we just talk about, you know,
but
what we're going
therapists
through.
are trained to like bounce things back to you that you may not see.
That's true.
Or notice patterns and things like that.
That's really cool.
But yeah, but I think that's why I never got into any toxic relationships, and I spent, you know, most of my 20s just dating and not committing to anyone unless it was exactly what I wanted.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, I mean, we only have a few minutes left.
Yes.
And this turned into you interviewing me.
Oh, sorry. I was like, what?
I was like,
what questions could I ask you? Sorry.
Turning to my co-host here.
My bad.
It's fine. I don't mind. But, you know, we're here about you.
Okay, yes.
So, like, before we wrap up, we covered a lot for this first episode.
Yes.
You have a big game coming up this Saturday.
This Saturday.
You have a hometown game coming up in August.
All my family's going to be there. I'm so excited. I haven't seen them in so many months.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's been only 3 months, but it's fun.
That's a lot for you.
Yeah, it's a lot for me.
Yeah. But is there anything that you want to... Because I feel like similar to the date, right?
Yes.
Like, this guy felt like he knew you because he saw your social media.
Right.
You know, what can you tell everyone that they don't know about you? Like, you know, like you see Mariah on her Instagram. We're going to put her handle here so you can follow. But what do they know about you that you want them to know?
Yes. I'm a very positive, like, go-lucky person, very outgoing. Yeah, I just want to spread love and, you know, positivity. That's literally, I don't know if you could see that on Instagram, but that's literally what I do. Like, that's all I'm about is positivity.
And besides that, with everything that you've been through, all your huge accomplishments that you have so far, because you've also won tons of awards we haven't talked about.
Oh, yeah.
What is one takeaway that you want everyone to take away from your experience in sports and your brand and everything?
You will never be handed anything in life. You got to work hard for it. You got to literally grind every single day. If it's what you want, go get it. Go, you know, full force into everything you want and work hard. Like, there's no shortcuts. There's no, like, magic, anything. It's you got to work hard and believe in yourself and honestly pray. Prayer is key.
Yeah. And then I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Well, thank you so much
for having me.
Thanks.
So we're going to do this again at some point, maybe in August before your next game.
Yes.
But before we go, I want you to look straight into that camera.
Okay.
And I want you to say your name,
Yes.
the league you're a part of, and you know, shout out the football sisters,
Okay.
and then I want you to say your slogan.
Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Miriah Lopez. I play for the X League on the Los Angeles Black Storm. I am a running back, and follow my brand at thefootballsisters.com. So we want to encourage everyone to lead by action, pursue through passion, and commit with heart in all that you do. Follow the Football Sisters.
Perfect.
Okay.
See, that was good.
Okay, that was better.
That was good.
I was like, why was I being so weird about it?